Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Ngāti Porou te iwi, ko Charles Goldsmith tōku ingoa.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko te whānau apanui te iwi, ko tēnei aratima tōku ingoa. Nō reira tēnā koe, tēnā koutou, o te rā, tēnā tātou katoa.
Nau mai and welcome to our Introduction to Taxes for Trusts.
This kauhau provides general information on the tax treatment for whānau trusts.
Not all trusts are the same. From setup through to structure and management, trusts are unique in how they are managed.
He aha tā tātou e matapakahia. What we will cover.
In this kauhau presentation, we will talk about the meaning of a trust for tax purposes, the meaning of Māori authority for tax purposes, how different types of income are treated, expenses, and record keeping.
The Kaitakawaenga Māori service. Before we start, let's talk about how we can support you and your trust. Kaitakawaenga Māori are available across the motu. We're here to support you so that you have the tools to self-manage your taxes. As part of the service, we can hold hui at a place and time that suits you, whether that be your whare or ours.
Before you start, you will need to complete some application forms. Kaitakawaenga Māori can guide you through the application process at your pace. We can even guide you on how to register your trust for MyIR, our secure online service.
Tarahiti whenua Māori, Māori land trusts.
If you and your whānau have land and you wish to set up a trust, you can do so by registering with the Māori Land Court. When setting up a trust, you will also need to elect a trustee to act on the trust's behalf. Most whānau with land set up a trust so that any income received from their land goes into their whānau account.
There are 5 types of Māori landowner trusts that you can become. Ahu whenua, whenua tōpū, kaitiaki, whānau, or pūtea trust. These trusts are set up under Te Turi Whenua Māori Act 1993. The purpose of this act is to aid and promote the ownership of Māori land by whānau, hapu, and iwi. It ensures that Māori land is kept for future generations. He tara iti whenua, he manatū Māori rānei. Will you set up as a trust or Māori authority? Your tax entity choice determines the documents that you will need.
Here are some things to consider. Who has the time and skills to complete returns and keep documents? Is there a person available to tautoko them? If no one has the time or skills to do this, then the trust may need to speak with a tax agent.
Tarahiti whenua, land trust. When whānau are deciding how to set up the entity, they need to consider a few things. These are the tax rate for the trust, which is 33%. You will need a trust deed, gazette notice, vesting order received from the Māori Land Court. The trust will remain liable if a beneficiary defaults on paying their share of tax. Trustees can make distributions from accumulated trustee income and capital profits. The beneficiary and trustee can elect to transfer beneficiary income directly to the beneficiary. Manatū Māori, Māori authority.
Māori authority is a tax-specific term. Here is what you need to do to register your entity as a Māori authority. You will need to apply for an IRD number and fill in an IR483 Māori authority election form. Attach a copy of your trust deed, gazette notice, vesting order received from the Māori Land Court to the election form. There are some things to think about before you make an election. These are the income tax rate. For a Māori authority, this is 17.5%. Distribution information is sent directly to Inland Revenue. Members can use the tax paid by the Māori authority to offset their own income tax liabilities. Distributions from retained income prior to 2004 are non-taxable distributions in the hands of the member. Māori authorities that are companies cannot group losses or combine with a non-Māori authority. The tax rate for resident withholding tax, RWT, is 39% and applies to annual distributions over $200 and where the Māori authority does not hold a member's IRD number. Some entities may need to maintain a Māori authority credit account. This is also known as a MACA.
Ngā tau Taake. Whichever entity type you choose whānau, you will need to apply for an IRD number if your entity receives taxable income. You can apply for a non-individual IRD number online or by filing a paper-based application. If you are electing to become a Māori authority, you can send the election form with the application so they can be processed together. You can make the election later if you are unsure. You will need to collect all the IRD numbers and addresses of your trustees and provide a copy of the trust deed. Moni whiwhi. Income. If you are receiving income, you will need to decide what is taxable and what is non-taxable.
Taxable income can include, but is not limited to, rent from leased land. For example, Honi is leasing the whānau land and pays the whānau $15,000 every quarter. This money is treated as income.
Dividends from Māori incorporation. A Māori incorporation is like a company. It is set up to aid and promote the use of Māori freehold land on behalf of the owners.
Passive income, such as interest received from the bank.
Taxable income does not include voluntary koha. A voluntary koha occurs when the giver does not gain any benefits or material advantages. Distributions received by trustees paid from capital reserves.
Please note, if your trust or Māori authority receives only non-taxable income, then you do not need to register with Inland Revenue.
Ngā ruhi. Expenses. Trusts and Māori authorities can claim any expense directly related to earning their gross income. For example, trustees hold a hui to discuss trust business. They can claim the expense incurred, such as buying kai for the hui, advertising, and venue hire. They can also claim any maintenance on land, such as fencing and drain clearing. Other expenses can include insurance and interest on money borrowed for business. It is important to keep all documentation, such as receipts or invoices, when claiming these expenses. Te whakamaunama. Keeping records.
Keeping your records up to date is important. It makes it easier for you to complete your tax returns and track your entity's activities. It also makes it easier to get funding or finance, and audits take less time if you are selected.
The Inland Revenue Act aims to be generally consistent with the spirit and intent of Te Turi Mō Te Reo Māori Act 2016. For whānau Māori, this means that tax records can be kept in Te Reo Māori without seeking permission. But there are some exceptions. One example will be donation receipts. Another will be certain phrases in the GST Act, such as tax invoice. These must be kept in English. Digits must be in Arabic numerals. Records must be kept for at least 7 years. Etahi atu kawenga Taake. Other tax responsibilities.
We have a range of payment options available. For details, search Making a Payment on our website. Contact us if you are unable to pay, and we can explore options. One option you can do is set up an arrangement via MyIR. If you do this before the due date, this may reduce the penalties charged.
Ngā rātonga tui hono haumaru. Secure online services. MyIR is our secure online service. It's available 24/7 and in real time. We encourage whānau to register for MyIR because you can file income tax, GST and employer returns, send secure messages, make online payments, update your entity's details, and see what information Inland Revenue holds in the account. You can also register more than one user on the account. To learn more about how we can help your whānau or Māori organisation, visit ird.govt.nz/Māori. Ngā kārere nui o tēnei rā. Today's key messages. Ngā mihi nui for watching. Here are a few reminders from today's video.
Our Kaitakawaenga Māori are here to help you and your whānau.
As a whānau, decide which entity is correct for you.
Remember, it's important to keep your organisation's details up to date with Inland Revenue.
Your records can be in either Te Reo Māori or English. only a few exceptions apply, as we mentioned earlier.
Records need to be kept for at least 7 years, even if the trust winds up.
Head over to our Māori Authority distribution video, which is part 2 of our series.
If you need further help, you can either talk to a tax agent, visit our website www.ird.govt.nz/Māori, or contact your local Kaitakawaenga Māori.
Head over to our Māori Authority distribution video, which is part 2 of our series. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.